This is a quick and basic introduction to Slay the Spire. This video is intended for someone who's never seen the game, never played the game, doesn't know what the game is about. We're going to quickly do a little bit of gameplay, talk a little bit about what the game is like, and I'll try to convey in this video why this is such a fantastic and phenomenal game. In the game, you can have 3 different profiles, so we're going to go ahead and be in this introduction one, which is a brand new playthrough. So this is what the game would look like if you're starting off playing it for the very first time. So let's go ahead and hit play, and we'll choose a standard run. This game, you actually have 4 different characters that you can unlock, but when you start the game, you can only play this ironclad character, which is the red character. It's really easy to unlock the other characters, but this character has 80 hit points and has a special ability called Burning Blood, which is at the end of combat heals 6 HP. This is a very tanky character, so it's a good character to start the game off when you don't know how to play or what's going on. So let's go ahead and get started. So this game, we have this Act 1, and the goal is to pick a path, a route, and make your way all the way up to this boss with hopefully enough health to be able to defeat it. If you defeat this boss at the end of Act 1, you get all your hit points back, and you start in Act 2, which is down here at the bottom again, and you have to work your way through to the Act 2 boss. And then if you beat the Act 2 boss, you get your health back, and then you have to do Act 3 boss, and if you can beat the Act 3 boss, then you beat the game. As you play the game, you unlock more things, such as a hidden boss and lots of other things, but that's the general idea, is you work your way through, make your choices, figure out how you want to get there, and then beat the boss at the end. I'm going to go ahead and take a look at our cards real quick. That's L1. You can see in the upper right hand corner there's a 10 there. When you start the game, you have 10 cards in your hand, and the way the cards work is in the upper left hand corner you have the cost, how much energy it costs to play the card. So you can see all these strikes here have 1 energy to play, and for that 1 energy it's an attack card that does 6 damage. We also have these defend cards, also 1 energy. These are skill cards, and you can get 5 block. And then finally we have this 2 energy card. It's a bash. It's an attack, does a little bit more damage, but it applies a debuff to the enemy. There are a lot of different cards. This tutorial is not to talk about cards really at all, just to give you an idea of what the game is like. When you start a round or a turn, you bring 5 cards into your hand randomly, and then each turn you get 5 more cards. And so let's go ahead and kind of take a look at what we have here. So we have our normal enemies, which you can see scattered across the map. The question marks are events, so that could be a good thing, a bad thing. It could be both good and bad. It could actually also be a fight. Don't really know what these question marks might be, kind of random. Although Act 1 has specific events associated with it, Act 2 has specific events, and Act 3 has specific events. And then there's some events that you can find across all of the different acts. You also have these little bags there. That's a merchant. You can use merchant to buy gold, to use gold to buy cards, to buy relics, to buy potions. Then you have the campfire. The campfire will allow you to rest and heal. It will also allow you to upgrade cards. Then you have the elite, which is the little horn guy. These are very difficult fights, very hard to win unless you have a sense of what they're going to do and how to play. Then you have these little treasure chest rooms. You get 1 of these per act, and you basically just want to go through and try to make your way up to the boss. Now, for brand new players, I highly recommend to find the route that's going to give you the most campfires and no elites. And and that will basically allow you to heal yourself and upgrade your cards and be in a real good spot once you get to the boss. Once you get comfortable with the game, my advice is fight as many elites as you can, because they give you all the best stuff. You get the most bang for your buck for fighting an elite. A lot of good rewards. So typically, once you get comfortable, fight elites and campfires. Those are really good. So for the sake of this demo, let's go ahead and try to hit a couple different things here. So I'm looking for a route. I think we're going to take this guy here. Those still give me a couple fights, a couple events, a merchant, and we'll get up to that elite there after the campfire. So you can see the entire, all the different stages. So let's go ahead and get started. So out of my 10 cards, it randomly drew 5. You can see in my bottom left-hand corner, I have that L2 with a 5 left. So this is what I'm going to draw next turn, these 5 cards. If you have more than 5 cards in here, it's going to randomly draw 5. So the order here is not the order that you're actually going to get them. Also in my bottom left-hand corner, you see I have a 3/3. That 3 is how much energy I have. So I have enough energy to play 3 cards, or 2 cards if I play a bash, because bash costs me 2. So I can spend up to 3 energy to get through this room. So let's take a look at these enemies here. This enemy here has a 7 with a red sword. So that red sword is an attack, and it's telling me he's going to attack me for 7 points of damage. So right off the bat, I have to decide, how am I going to play this? I can block here and get 5 block, and that'll mitigate 5 of the damage. So if I play 1 block, then that means I would take 2 points of damage. Let's go ahead and play this block card, and you're going to see I'm going to get a little blue shield with a 5 next to it. There you go. So you have this blue shield with a 5. That tells me that I can block 5 points of damage. Now I have to decide, do I play another block in order to take no damage, because that would give me 10 block? Or do I want to use some attacks here to do some damage? Most enemies have special abilities. Let's quickly take a look at these guys here. These little blue thing called curl up underneath. Basically, when you hit them for the first time, they get additional shielding based on the number. So this would get 4 additional shielding, and this guy will get 6. Let's go ahead and knock their shields out, so that way they won't have them next turn. Really important about shields, you only have them for the turn that you're in. The following turn, they disappear. So let's go ahead and hit this guy for 6 points of damage, and he's going to get that shield. You can see now he has the shield of 6. If I attack him with this card here, all I'm going to do is break his shield. I'm not going to do any damage, so there's no point in attacking him. But we'll go ahead and also attack this guy. So now they both have shields. Here, I'm out of energy. I can't do anything else, so let's go ahead and end my turn. So I'm going to take 2 points of damage from this first guy. And that green there, that spit web, that's a debuff. So let's see what debuff that is. It's called weakened. So whenever something happens to you, you can go to your character and see here. So I'm weakened. That means my attacks deal 25% less damage for 2 turns. So my attacks, instead of doing 6, now do 4. But you'll notice here that these guys are not attacking me. This guy's going to buff himself, and this person's going to also inflict a negative status on me. So let's go ahead, and I can't kill both of them because my strikes don't do as much damage. But I can kill one of them. Let's kill the one that's going to debuff me here. So he's dead, and we'll actually, yeah, we will be, yeah. So let's go ahead and end my turn. He's going to buff himself. Once he buffs himself, we can see exactly what it is that he did. And because I played all of my cards, they go into my discard pile, and then it reshuffles. So he buffed himself. So now his attacks do 3 more damage. It doesn't matter though, because we can kill him. Okay, so that's a very simple, basic thing. Now this character special ability, he has this relic called Burning Blood, which is at the end of combat, he'll heal 6 hit points. So I take him 2 points of damage, but I healed 6. So you can see there I'm still 80 out of 80. Now, once you fight, you'll always get gold, and you'll always get an option to add cards to your deck. Sometimes you'll also get the option for a potion. I got an option for a potion, which is nice. Potions will carry on from fight to fight, but it's a one-time use type thing. But you can see here you have a slot here at the top for 3 different potions. So I've got this energy potion, which will give me 2 energy immediately if I need it. Let's go ahead and add a card to my deck. Lots of different cards. We're not going to talk about all the different type of cards, but let's see if we can find something interesting and fun. This one here, deal 9 damage, draw 1 card. So this is a good card compared to the strike. The strike only does 6 points of damage for 1. This does 9 points, and I also get to draw a card. So we'll go ahead and we'll pick this Pommel Strike. Now I have a choice. Where do I want to go? Let's go ahead and do an event. Let's find out what's going to happen here. So these are random. And okay, so this is interesting here. I can gain 175 gold, but the result is I also get this cursed card put into my hand. And that cursed card basically says at the end of your turn, gain 1 weak, which means, again, when I'm weak, I do 25% less damage for that turn. So this is a risk-reward thing. I normally would disagree, but let's just, for the sake of this, let's go ahead and agree. We'll get lots of money for the merchant that's coming up. Okay, but now I've got this cursed card in my hand. I can take a look at my hand here. There's the Pommel Strike I just added, and then here's this cursed card that can come up. Okay, let's go ahead and leave, and we have another event. Let's go ahead and see this one. Okay. I can obtain this golden idol, but it'll trigger a trap of some sort. Do I take it? Do I leave? Let's go ahead and take it. Okay, I can choose one of 3 bad things to happen. I can basically get another cursed card, this injury. I can smash it, which will give me 20 points of damage, or I can lose 6 max health. Let's go ahead and just take the damage. None of these are really good, but we'll take the damage here. Ouch. Okay, so now I'm down to 60 health, but I have this golden idol. Now, what is this golden idol? Your relics are in the upper left-hand corner. So this is the relic that heals me each turn. Here's this golden idol. Golden idol, enemies drop 25% more gold. So this is going to last me for the rest of the game. So that's actually, can be nice. Kind of makes me want to fight more enemies, so that way I can get more gold, so then I can get more stuff at the merchant. You can also use this golden idol in events later on in Act 2 and Act 3 for certain things. I should mention that as well. Okay, let's go ahead and do another fight, and then let's get to that merchant, because now I've got a ton of money. Okay, so we've got 2 more enemies here. One of them is going to attack me for 3 points of damage. The other one is going to debuff me. You can see here I have this doubt card, which means that next turn I am going to do 25% less damage. So let's go ahead and kill this guy. Yeah, we'll go ahead and kill this guy. I don't have enough energy to play this bash. There's no reason for me to defend because this person is doing a negative effect. So we'll just go ahead and end my turn. So now I'm weak for this turn, so I'm going to do less damage. And he debuffed me. He hit me with something called Frail. And what is Frail? Frail means I gain 25% less block for 1 turn. So you can see my blocks don't do as much. But again, he's not attacking me, so I don't need to defend. So we'll just go ahead and attack him twice. And again, the defenses don't do anything, so we'll end my turn. So now I won't be weak or frail. Oh, except he frailed me again. But at least I won't be weak. So now's the time for me to do my damage. So we'll do this Pommel Strike. He's going to hit me for 8 points. Can I kill him? 9 plus 6 plus 6. I just have enough to kill him. Fantastic. So we use that Pommel Strike. Regular Strike. Regular Strike. Alright. I didn't take any damage, and because of this character's relic, I healed myself. So now I'm only 14 points down. You can see I'm getting 18 gold plus 5. So that 5 there is from the golden idol. It lets me know that I'm getting 5 additional gold I wouldn't have. Okay, so now let's go ahead and we've got our card selection. You can skip cards if your card selections are not something that's going to be good for your deck. In fact, not taking cards is a really important factor in this game, knowing sometimes, hey, I don't want to bloat my hand with cards that aren't really going to help me. All three of these cards are good. This one right here is blue, and the blue means it's an uncommon card. Just because it's uncommon doesn't mean it's better, frankly. Anger is a good card, and Armaments is a good card. Let's go ahead and take Armaments, because that's an interesting one, and it's going to help us with our elite fight coming up. So now we have this merchant, or I can choose, but I want to do this merchant. So let's go ahead and see what I can get with all my money. I have way more money than I normally would have at this point in the game. So you always get a choice of 5 cards, so one of those cards will always be on sale for half off. Then you have these colorless cards. The colorless cards can be cards that any of the different characters can use. Then you have relics. These will always stay with you. It's kind of like your gear. Then you have your potions, and then you have this card removal service where you can get rid of cards. Well, I'm going to definitely use this. So I'm going to spend the 75 to get rid of this cursed card. Yay. Awesome. Unfortunately, you can only remove 1 card per merchant, and it cost me 75 to remove the card. Next time it's going to cost me 100, and then after that 125. So it gets more and more expensive to try to remove cards in this game. But I got rid of that cursed card, which is wonderful. Okay, so I've got all of these different options here, and I don't have enough. This is the only relic I can get. That's pretty expensive. I don't think I'm going to get this one, but I am going to get this Thunderclap here. It deals 4 damage to all enemies and also makes them vulnerable, which debuffs them. That's a nice card. And then, let's see here. Do I want to get anything else? Maybe do I want to get this Flex? No, we'll save a little bit of my money. So, actually, you know, this one right here, Swift Strike, it doesn't cost me any energy, and it deals 7 points of damage. So why don't we go ahead and just take that guy as well. Okay. So now we're going to go to a fire here. So you have 2 options. You can either rest or you can upgrade your cards. If I rest, it's going to heal me 24 hit points. I've got 66. I'm not going to rest just yet. I'm not going to play. So I'm going to go ahead and smith. So all cards can be upgraded. When you upgrade them, they are upgraded for the rest of the game. So for instance, the strike here, if I upgrade it, it goes from doing 6 points of damage to 9. The defense goes from 5 block to 8. The pommel strike, pretty good actually. 1 more damage, but you can draw 2 more cards. Thunderclap does 3 more damage to all enemies, which is nice. Swift Strike does 3 more damage, but Armament's the one I really want to do here, because Armament pay 1 energy to gain 5 block. Normally I can only upgrade a single card in my hand for the rest of combat, but with the upgraded I can upgrade all the cards in my hand for the rest of combat. So let's go ahead and do that. So I can upgrade all of my cards, and now we're going to have an elite fight. So let's go ahead and see here. These guys here, they just did an artifact. So again, you can see what those things are by hovering over it. So an artifact negates 1 debuff. So kind of keep that in mind. So 2 of these guys are going to do a negative status effect, and this guy here is going to attack me for 9. Let's go ahead and defend 1 time, and then we'll attack twice. So I'm going to start with this guy. He's got a little bit less health, and I want to take that guy out. Okay, and then that pommel strike allowed me to draw a card. So I'm going to play this Armament. I'm going to get 5 block, and it's going to upgrade all these strikes for when I need them later. So now all these strikes can do 9 points of damage. And in fact, do I want to use my energy now to really start working on this? Actually, yes, we're gonna go ahead and just use that energy now. So I get 2 more energy. So we're getting really close to hopefully being able to kill that guy in the back. So now these guys are debuffing me. So what they're doing is they're putting these dazed cards into my discard pile. So once I have to reshuffle, it's going to reshuffle these dazed cards, which are, you know, just useless cards, into my deck, which is not good. Okay, so I've got these two guys here. They're both attacking me for 9, which means I need to block for 18. And this guy's going to do a debuff. So ideally, hopefully I can kill one of these guys. So I've got this Swift Strike here that does 7. Let's go ahead and I'm going to use these 2 strikes to kill this guy. Then we'll use the Swift Strike on this guy here. He's got a little bit less health. And then I'll defend once. Not bad. So I'm going to take 4 points of damage, but I've already killed one of the 3. So this is going pretty well. Now I'm going to... There's a chance that I might get some dazed in my hand next turn, because it's going to reshuffle and give me 2 cards. Okay, good. Oh, excellent. Okay, so I've got this Thunderclap here, which can make things vulnerable in this bash. What I'm going to do is I'm going to play this Thunderclap, and this is going to make things vulnerable, which is a debuff, but these guys are resistant to do debuffs 1 time, but it'll be okay. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to debuff. Now I'm going to bash, which is going to make something vulnerable for 2 turns. So doing this basically will help me kill this guy a lot faster, which means I'm also going to take 9 points of damage because I'm not going to be defending. So I don't have enough energy to do anything else. I'm going to take 9 points of damage. Not anything I can do, but it's fine. Okay, cool. So I've got this Pommel Strike here, and the strike I can do 9, 18. I can't quite kill this guy, unfortunately. So we're going to play this Armaments card, get some 5 block, and it upgraded the Pommel Strike. I will, because this guy is vulnerable. So this is like 9 points of damage, but because he's vulnerable, if you take a look, you can see it changes to 13. So it does 50% more damage. So let's go ahead and do this Pommel Strike, because it's going to allow me to draw a card. And, oh, actually it was upgraded, so I was able to draw 2 cards. So now I have a choice. Actually, I don't. We're going to go ahead and kill this guy here. So I'm going to take another 4 points of damage, but there's only 1 guy left. Now I have a lot of dazed in my draw pile, so let's see what happens here. Yeah, I got 2 of them. But what's nice is he's not going to attack me, so I don't need to defend. So I don't have any defense cards anyway, so I would have taken damage if he was attacking, but he's not, so that's good. So we'll do Swift Strike, regular, and so he's down to 15 health. Oh, these days at the bottom says ethereal. What ethereal means is that if you don't play them, it goes into your exhaust pile, not your discard pile. So let's go ahead and end my turn. And you can see in the bottom right hand corner I've got that 3 on the R1. That's my exhaust pile. So that's just saying that those cards are going here, and they're not back in my hand. Unfortunately, look at all these days. It really mucked up my hand. I won't be able to kill him this turn. We can look at my draw. You can see here I've got 3 more days that I potentially will draw, but it's fine. So I'm going to take the full 9 points of damage here. Not anything I can do, but in theory I'll kill him next turn. And then I'll get 6 health back. Did I get it? Good. I'll be able to take him out. And then I get 6 health. So I'm at 46. So now, harder fight, but I get more gold than normal, and then I get a relic, or gear. So you can see here, every 3 times you shuffle your draw pile, you gain 2 energy. So what this kind of does is like, hey, maybe I should keep my deck small, because the more times I shuffle through my deck, the more energy I get. So that's kind of your relics here, as well as the cards you get, can determine your play style. So then I've got various cards here that I can choose from. A Rampage deals 8 damage, and then this card's damage is increased by 5 this combat. This can be a really fun card. Let's go ahead and pick that one. Let's do one more quick fight and then a treasure so you can see what the rampage looks like. Okay, so this guy, he's going to buff himself, so I don't need to defend. In fact, I couldn't defend even if I wanted to because I don't have any defense cards. Thunderclap will make someone vulnerable, as will Bash. Let's go ahead and bash him to make him more vulnerable, and then we'll do a Pommel. No, if I do the Pommel Strike, it's going to draw a card, and I really want to get to that Rampage, and if it pulls the Rampage card, I won't be able to use it. So we'll just do another Thunderclap, so he'll be vulnerable. So he's currently vulnerable for 2 rounds. If I play this, he'll be vulnerable for a 3rd. So the debuffs stack. So you can see here he's got that Broken Heart for 3 turns. So he's going to buff himself. Let's see what he does. He does this incantation. It's a ritual. And what is the ritual? Let's find out. At the end of its turn, gain 3 strength. So what this means is that he's going to get stronger and stronger every turn. So you really want to kill him quickly. Let's upgrade all of my cards by playing this, and it also gives me 5 block. So now all my cards are upgraded. So now I can choose. Do I want to defend and basically make sure I don't take any damage, or do I want to attack? Well, I want to attack. And we'll do that. So I'm going to take 1 point of damage, but it's okay. This character again heals itself. He's pretty tanky. So now here's my Rampage, and I'm not even going to get to use it. So when I kill him here, this would have gone into my discard pile, but instead of dealing the 8 there, it would then show a 13. So this card you just want to use over and over again, and you can get it so it does tons of damage for a single point. But he's dead. Get another potion. This one gives me 1 artifact for that 1 turn, so that way I can avoid a debuff. And let's take a look at my cards here. I've got a choice. So this is a power card. At the end of your turn, lose 1 hit point and deal 5 damage to all enemies. That's a power card. A power stays in play the entire rest of the fight once you play it. But we'll just go ahead and choose this flex. Okay, that's enough of the gameplay. This should give you an idea of kind of how the game works and what you're trying to do. Now I want to talk a little bit about overall the game and what you get for continuing to play. So as you play the game, as I mentioned, there are 4 different characters. The character we just played there was the red character. These are all the different cards. A lot of them you need to unlock as you play that specific character. Lots of different synergies, lots of different ways to play. Then you unlock the green character. The only cards in common between all the different characters is the strike card and the defend card. Other than that, completely different cards, game styles, the way you play, the synergies for the green, for the blue, and for the purple. So tons of different ways to play, strategies, styles, everything is just completely different based on the character, the cards that you get, and the relics. You also have colorless cards. These can be played for all the different characters, and then you also have these curse cards. We saw a couple of those. In addition, we have the relics, which again is kind of like your gear. So each character has their own starting gear that does different things. And then you've got all these different relics. Sometimes the relics synergize with each other, sometimes relics plus specific card combinations. The variety is pretty much infinite on what can happen for that. And then we've got our potions. A lot of different potions to help you instantly in certain ways. Finally, we've got statistics, so it's kind of cool. You can kind of see your overall stats, how long you've played, how many floors you've beaten, how many bosses, and then it also breaks it down by character. And then the last thing, which is really incredible in my opinion, is you can kind of go back and see your runs. So like here you can see all the floors here and the choices that I made here, like, hey, I got this fruit juice and I didn't take any cards, or hey, I upgraded this card here. things of that nature. You can see the relics that you used as well as the cards that you had for the run. And then what's really neat is in the upper right hand corner, you see that thing that said seed. If you get a really particularly cool run where you got really cool relic combinations or card combinations, or were able to do something really incredible, awesome, you had that seed, so that way you can actually replay that game. Or if you thought, man, what if I'd chosen to do like not take that cursed card with the money and chosen to instead do something else, you can replay that whole level to see what would have happened if you'd done something differently. But I think it's mostly if you find a really cool relic combination or card combination, you can replay it, and you can also share it with other people, so that way they can do it. In fact, you can see here, this last run I did was a custom run because I enjoyed this run so much. I wanted to try something slightly different, and I went and I replayed it. So one of the great things about this particular game is the relics that you get, the cards that you get, are random each time you play. So you might have a particular favorite card or combination of cards that you really love, but when you're playing, you might not get the option to get those cards. So the game forces you to play with the cards, the hands that you're dealt, and the relics that you're dealt. And when you do that, you learn all sorts of really cool synergetic things between these cards and these relics that you never would have found out before if you weren't forced to actually play with them. And so a lot of this game is about discovering all the hidden ways that these cards can be incredibly used in combination to create incredibly cool effects and results. And so this game kind of teaches you how to play better as you discover the intricacies of how all these things kind of work together. And also, it's a very fair game. You normally will only lose if you make a lot of bad choices, either in those events, or if you choose the wrong route, or you try to take a route that's just too difficult and you just don't have enough health to make it through. The game's very fair, and so you also really learn how to play the game, how to make the right choices to get you through all the act bosses to ultimately beat the game. And so again, it's a very rewarding, very fair game, and the way it's set up is very well balanced. So this is an overview of Slay the Spire, a wonderful game. If you like strategy games in any way, shape, or form, this is an incredibly well-balanced, genius game, in my opinion, to discover a lot of different ways to play and to just have a good time finding really cool card combinations.